Yeah. What up, everybody? It's your boy Dave Noodlez. It's a beautiful Wednesday up in Shaolin. Today we got a special guest with us. Straight out of what borough are you from, my dude?
Brooklyn.
Hey, that's where my pops is from.
Hey.
So we got the one and only Frank Knight in the building, aka Frank Knizza. It's good to have you here, bro.
Yo, appreciate you, Dave. I'm glad we can make this happen. TYPE88, you know what I mean? Frank Knizza in the building. What up?
So I've been seeing you shining all over, doing your thing, making things happen. Clearly you're following your dreams. Maybe if we can, could we bring it back to when you first started even in hip-hop? Like, did you find an album? Did someone give you an album? Was it the radio? Like, how did you even stumble across hip-hop?
Well, it comes back to, I say, always in my household, right? My sister, she used to just bump all the bad boy stuff. Like, so it was a bad boy household when I was younger and whatnot. And I used to always hear hip hop, and then just be familiar with certain artists and stuff. But I wasn't heavy into it like that. I would say now when it came to me, probably when I was 12 years old, that's when like puberty and all that maturity stuff start hitting. You get extra into the girls and stuff. Well, at least back then. Now, like it's like they come out. Well, you can curse here.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. It's like as soon as they go out the pussy, they in the pussy. So or whatever their other preference is. But so when I was 12, as like that whole phase started happening, like me and my homies, we started getting distant because we couldn't really relate to certain things. Like they played sports, and then and I was just still like a kid. Aside from like the things that was going on in the environment, like I still try, maintain my innocence for as long as possible. And then I seen, all right, I suck at sports. I'm like the black dude that just ain't meant to play sports, right? But I was always good at poetry. And I was like, all right, well, I was kind of like the rap. So then let me just start playing around. So start doing like the little freestyles and stuff. I really did it to make sure, like, to impress my friends and to keep that connection. Like, that was just really my mindset when I just started noticing, like, we didn't really like hang out as much. So I was like, yo, I got bars. And then, and then it transitioned from there. And then I found out like I had an affinity and a love for it. And so we used to record on this bullshit $20 Radio Shack mic in my crib, like me and my boys, and yeah, from there that's when like just the whole process of like loving this culture just even flourished even more.
And was that in high school or earlier?
So from the end of junior high school going into high school, so
okay.
I probably rapped on that bullshit mic until probably like 9th, 10th grade. Cause then my boy, he took me to like this studio in East New York. Shout out to the homie Cooley, like still one of the greatest engineers I've ever worked with, seen in my life, and is a dope producer. So I went to go chill with my boy, like to go hang out at the studio, and then chopped it up with Cooley. And I was 16 at the time. And that's when I first like got into the studio and paid for like sessions and stuff, and then had that real experience as an artist. And yeah, and that's when started recording like more professional sounding records with whack ass flows that I thought were dope.
Evolution, man.
Yes, sir.
So did you put out, because that was back when? What was that, before MySpace, during MySpace?
Oh, during MySpace.
Okay.
Yeah. So that...
so what did you got, 5 songs on
actually,
the profile?
I was 15 when I first started recording. So that was probably... I'm in the studio. That was 05.
Okay.
Yeah, so that... Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So how did you, like, present yourself to the world? Like, did you put out a project? Did you do a Kendrick where you just dropped the album out the blue? And then you roll up in 8th grade and you're like, here's my album.
Back then, if you wasn't like really like the homie, you didn't really know I rapped like that. Like
okay.
I was still like self-conscious and I guess insecure in that aspect. Damn. But that's when like the forums was popping, so like having like little text battles and shit like that. And then I remember just battling like cats from from all over like the world, and I'm just like, motherfucker, I'm really from the hood. Like, I will beat your ass. Like, I was like, yo. But and then I met so many people like it was cool through that community that I stayed in contact with through Facebook probably like through the years and stuff. But yeah, so I remember I had a mixtape back then too. Like my first rap name was FPG. It was a multi acronym, like it had different meanings. So like it was like Frank's Pure Greatness, and then it was from Projects Gravesend. That was where I'm originally from in Coney Island, and then also from Projects Glenwood, which was the projects I moved to out of from Coney Island, and just like I used to just play with those little those words, and then I put out a mixtape that I definitely took down. Like one of my homies, he makes fun, like, cause he still got it on Dat Piff. It was this mixtape called "Nigga I'm Nice," and I wasn't nice at the time. I really wasn't, bro. Like I always had like lyrical promise, and like I had witty wordplay, but again, like the flow was like just bad. Like it was like, yo, G Herbo, Soldier Slim, Trinidad James. Like this shit was ridiculous.
Maybe you were just ahead of your time.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Too ahead to get the money.
So who were your guys like growing up? Did you have favorite MCs? Like me, I loved Jadakiss, Cameron, Eminem. Who else? So many dope MCs. Diplomats, Nas, Kanye. Who were some of your guys?
Do you still consider Kanye an MC?
He propelled himself into, I would just say, like, just an artist now.
Okay.
Because like what he's doing is just, he's always ascended, I think. I
agree heavily on that.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like we don't even consider him an MC.
Let me ask. Like, what do you? I'm curious on your opinion. What makes an MC for you, and like what's like a criteria that they would hit? Then I just turned your interview into interview.
So I would definitely say Kanye is an MC. Just the way he inspires the crowd. I would say someone that definitely could rock a crowd. You don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to, because I know people that are DJs for Sweet 16 companies and they're MCs. They get
Masters of Ceremony.
They rock it. Yeah. Of course, when I think hip hop, I think like Talib Kweli and Rakim and guys like that as MCs. I think there's always, I think as of a lot lately, there's been somewhat of a divide because I think the new school has a very different flow. Like I think they're inspired by like Yeezus.
Yeah.
And I feel like and like the Cudi album, I feel like those were like kind of breaking points of like the split up of the sound where it's like, but meanwhile a lot of it's inspired by Yeezus, a lot of it's inspired by Wayne, a lot of it's inspired by the Cudi album. If you kind of you ever look at those like circles and it's like who met who from where.
Yeah, I call Cudi the first mumble rapper. Like Man on the Mood is a dope project. But like I remember when I used to first hear Cudi and I was like, I really don't know what the fuck you saying.
Yeah.
But like it was a vibe, and like he's like the father of the vibe. That at least we can trace on a mainstream popularity level. The reason I asked the MC thing is like, do you consider the ghostwriting like a strike towards being an MC or no?
I think it would take away hip hop MC. Yeah. I know when people make music, it's not always for the greater good. It's for the greater gold. How to get the gold and how to make the most popular record out there. Yeah. So I know that the goal affects the process. Mm-hmm. If it's like, oh, we need a hit, they're not just going to get some dudes that are just at the corner with like just that have that pure flow that it's going to be like, okay, well, this guy worked and he wrote this song for Rihanna, and then we'll get Black Bear because he made the beat for Neo on this, and then we'll get Skrillex because his name looks good on this because it works well with Drake. Okay, boom. And then it's like kind of puzzling. it's kind of like giving us a movie. It's like me seeing the Ninja Turtles again. I'm like, okay, I know them. I know this character. I could count on this. Oh, it's by Spielberg. Oh, okay. And the guy who did the Simpsons soundtrack did it. Okay, I'm sold.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that, like, I remember when Cuddy even came out, it was just like rare how it came out, because I was like, I feel like almost near the end of like the blogs, where like blogs really mattered.
You think so? I think blogs still mattered, because Cuddy came out like 07 was like Man on the Moon or something like that.
I think so.
Right. So I think my personal thing, I think blogs probably died like 2013, like 2013, 2014. Yeah. Like
it just became a little watered down.
Like the writing and stuff. Like it was a real like journalism was actually a big thing. Like now, I get you on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I'm a fan of just music. Like I bump the Ariana Grande album, and then I bump the Rakim, and then the Talib, and then Brother Ali. So I'm maybe a weird fan. I know a lot of pure hip hop fans that frown upon that shit. I think it takes away from being an MC. I think you become more of an artist.
Yeah, like, but to answer your question, that spun into that real quick. When I first started, 50 Cent is probably the reason that I rap. I always credit that, because like that's when I started. When I was 12, G Unit like just came out, like, and then, yeah, bro, that wave was just so crazy, like, and then when I started listening to more music, like more hip hop artists, I finally started like diving into like Jay-Z's catalog, right? Because I was like, I saw H to the Izzo, like, and I was like, but now let me listen, and I was like, yo, dude, it's really dope, and then. Like, I heard Takeover before I heard Ether, like the way it was, right? So then I heard Ether, and I was like, oh my God, Nas is amazing. Like, I heard Stillmatic before I heard Illmatic, and Illmatic is one of my favorite albums of all time. Well, it is my favorite album of all time.
Really?
I think it's the perfect project for me personally. Like non-solid songs with even a classic intro, right? Where then coming in next, then after like listening to Nas, and you start. I remember it was like UBR, Unauthorized Biography, Rakim. When he did that, then I started listening, and I think that was on Streets Disciple. I think. God damn, I hate that album.
For Nas,
his worst album is still Nostradamus. Like I just don't acknowledge that album's existence. Like, it was funny. I had Spotify playing Nas yesterday, and it went from Lost Tapes to Stillmatic, and then when I heard that Nostradamus intro, I was like, nope, not today, Satan. So I was like, but yeah, then started listening to Rakim, because I was like, all right, this is the guy who influenced my favorite rapper now at this time, right? So then Rakim, then I started listening to Biggie, and Biggie became my favorite rapper. Like, I just feel as a rapper, Biggie's like just shit top tier. Like, I got a couple homies who don't listen to videos. Like, he's too simple, and I'm like, the nigga's just, he mastered simplicity, and all right, I'll say this. When I met my manager Ronan, whose birthday bash I'm performing at tonight, if you're all around, 168 Delancey Street, the Delancey is where we're performing, and LES, Lower East Side, pull up like a baby diaper. Now, Ronan, when he's one of the people I credit to helping my flow. It's three people I credit. It's Ronan, producer who worked with Dope Antelope, and my mom's. My mom's legit told me, yo, that's whack, right? So like, but Ronan,
shout out to mom.
Yeah, right. He told me, he was like, yo, hip hop is about saying as much as you need to say in the most concise way. So saying a lot without saying a lot, pretty much, right? And then so getting that's what I feel Biggie accomplished, like flawlessly, flow patterns. Like he showed, that's why when we have the debate of like Tupac and Biggie, the reason I'm gonna pick Biggie as an artist is just because he's a better artist than me. Like, he's just more polished and just more dope. I understand Tupac is just the better ideal, or the most appealing ideal character. Not to take away from his music.
Yeah.
I feel like he he really didn't hit his real rapper stride until like Me Against the World and the Don Illuminati 7 Day 30. Those two albums are my like favorite. All Eyes on Me is cool to me.
Of course.
But
that was the double disc?
Yeah, that was the double disc All Eyes on Me. To me, Life After Death is the greatest solo artist double disc album, period. Like I don't know any solo artist that had a double disc better than that. And then I still put it as the greatest double disc for me personally. Like I got the Wu shirt on, but I don't think Wu-Tang Forever is a better double disc than Life After Death.
I agree.
I love Outkast, The Love Box, Speaker Below. Still don't put it past that. Like, but
true.
And,
I agree.
Yeah. And
in terms of memorable records that are like part of hip hop.
Yeah.
Like that Outkast did what, 10 million?
Yeah.
Like it killed it in the pop world.
Yeah. But for that hip hop,
that hip hop, bro, like I agree. Bro, Hypnotize,
Sky's the Limit,
Kicking the Door,
yes.
Effing You Tonight, I Love the Dough.
Yeah, I love the Doors.
Notorious Thugs, Miss You, Back to Cali, 10 Crack, Sky's the Limit. These are all like
Long Kiss Goodnight, My Downfall, You're Nobody Till Somebody Kills You. Like, bruh. Yeah.
The memory, yeah, in terms of hip hop and like you go to a club or you go to an event, you're going to hear the most, or you turn on the radio hip hop wise. Yeah. This owned it.
Even the lines when people reference Biggie lines, a lot of that comes from this album.
Yeah.
Like, I love Ready to Die. Classic. Amazing album. Like, I'll still battle certain times, time to time. I'll be like, yo, this is a Ready to Die is probably better than Life After Death. But as I got older, I found myself liking Life After Death more than Ready to Die. Yeah. But then after listening to like Biggie, and then I wanted to get even more into like the deeper levels of like just underground MCs. So then that's when listen to your Immortal Techniques, your, Black Star, and then recently I found myself like bumping a lot of Common. But like I think we were talking about this on the phone, like B and Find It Forever. Yo, those two right there are just in time like some of the most amazing forms of music. Faithful, bro. Like,
oh man,
that record, yo, so
that album, man.
Yes, that whole album, like from the intro to the ending, like, and then Find It Forever. Is the perfect follow up. Like, yo,
that album, man. Because bro, I remember Kanye got me hype when he had Get 'Em High, because that song kind of like snuck in. But it just knocked, and like it. And bro, I was sleeping on Common and Talib, I would say. And then when I heard that song, I was like, yo, I gotta dig into these guys more. And then, bro, months later, right, he dropped B. I was so ready for B. And then it was like produced by Kanye at like peak time.
Oh, and that's when Kanye couldn't do no wrong, bro. Like that.
Yeah.
Yo, that joint was so fuego. Yeah, and then, like listening to like just more of those MCs, and then going back listening to other legends like the your KRS Ones like Criminal Minded is and the Edutainment album. Those are like so fire. Like Love's Gonna Get You. I love that song so much. And then Wu-Tang, obviously, right? You can't forget that. Like arguably like one of the greatest groups of all time in music. Period.
Yeah. They're hitting, bro, being in Staten Island at this time, bro, the hype is real, man. Like, all these shows coming out on Hulu and the one on Mass Appeal and...
The District, like, when I got off, like, it's
yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan District. Like, and I was like, oh, shit, they did get the block named after them. Like,
they did,
like Park Hills, real now. It's like... and the funny thing is, right, like, I loved... 36 Chambers when I first heard, like that was all around that time when I was like 14, 15, when I was just hip hop hungry. And I remember somebody on the forums, like when they was like, the one album that's better than Illmatic is only built for Cuban links. I was like, that's blasphemy. Like I didn't hear it at that time, right? And I was like, there's no album better than Illmatic. You're bugging. But I was like, because you said that, and I like Wu-Tang, I gotta listen. So the first time I heard Only Built for Cuban Links, right? I was like, this album is garbage. Second time I listened to it again, I was like, you know what? I just probably gotta give it another run. Still hated it. Mm-hmm. After the second time, I don't listen to nothing ever again, right? But it was one time, it was still in my my iPod, the old iPod where you had to scroll. There was no touch.
Oh, got it.
Right? Like, and I remember it was raining, and then like I guess like my playlist just was playing it, and then Rainy Days came on, and then I was like, yo, the fuck is this shit? I was like, and then I was like, yo, this whole album, like I don't know, yo, and I just take it to I wasn't mature enough at the time to listen, like, cause it's probably like a 3-year span. Like the first year I listened to it, and like I probably listened to it twice, and then like 2 years later I heard it again, and I was like, yo, this is one of the greatest albums. And then that's when the same time Only Built for Cuban Links 2 was coming out, so this was like 09.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I was so hyped. And to me, that's the best sequel to a project, I feel like, especially with a gap that long from 95 to 2009. Like, I would not want to hear A Reasonable Doubt 2. Like,
yeah, somehow he did it.
Like, exactly. So like even like Rick Ross, I think, is one of the best EPs in the music game right now. Like, he can put together a project like flawlessly. Like, I listen to Port of Miami too. It just don't hit like the first one. Like, it's a good project.
Yeah.
Like Marshall Mathers LP too. That was a dangerous thing to do. Like, he could have just called it Marshall. Like, and then like like or Mr. Mathers, like embracing that grown. Like, I get it, and like when you hear the song about his mom's, like Headlights, I think that's the name of it.
Okay.
Right? Like, yo, I remember I was listening, I was like, oh shit, like this nigga ain't, he regret this shit. Like, he's legit grown up, like, and life is hitting him. Like, you know, you start seeing the bigger things, and I was like, it sucks. Like, it just don't give you that real feel. And like, you know, as a consumer for myself, like, it might resonate with some other people, right?
It got a lot of mixed. It's weird, man, because the mood changes in music, right? Like the sound or
I don't like Eminem and Rick Rubin. I don't. Rick Rubin is an amazing producer and a legend, but like, it just shows like certain people just don't mesh well. Like,
the timing was. It's because it's crazy because I feel very biased. Like, I feel like I've liked Encore. People like, how did you like that? And I liked Relapse.
I love that. I hate when people talk shitty about Relapse. Relapse is amazing.
I loved Recovery.
Recovery really was dope.
To me, I think his albums, and then Marshall too, it didn't hit me the same way. I think that the sound just changed, and I think how much I needed him was different. I think when I was younger, I needed him. Like, I was going through like growing pains. I was angry. I was kind of feeling the way he was feeling.
Yeah.
And I felt like he was the voice for me at that time. I think things changed. I think I became more internal, more caring about peace, more caring about certain things, and I think we just kind of missed each other. You know, it's like your first love coming back like 20 years later when you're already like about to get married and be like, hey,
it's a little nostalgia.
What do you think? And I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, it's like you just backslide real quick. You be like, shouldn't have did that, but it felt good. But I say the same thing as I've gotten older. Like, even with music, like my taste has evolved to the point where I can't. Certain things doesn't resonate with me no more. Like, and I don't agree with certain concepts anymore. Like, and my playlist has changed. Like, even though like if it came on probably like in a club or something, I'll probably be like, yo, I might like rap the lyrics, but just the man that I've grown into is like, yo, it's like, I felt Relapse and Recovery though, going back to Marshall, was a great like comeback period for M. And you know, and I don't think we have the right to tell like somebody like, yo, quit. Like, if it's your passion, do what you want to do, bro. Like,
and the numbers he does across the world, like, he could almost look at the U.S. and be like, you know what? I don't even need those 2 million sales because he makes like 7 million sales. But bro, he does shows with like 300,000 people in like Germany.
Scary. Yo, here's something crazy, right?
Bro, it doesn't even matter what.
When I was in France, right? And this was funny. This is I And this was a time like after like I messed my hand up like during my performance, like I punched a hard ass metal chair and I lost. So like like my joint was sprained and it was wrapped up. So I'm out. So then when I was in France, it was me and my photographer. Shout out to YFM Photo, Yasin.
Oh yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, so
It's the homie.
yeah, we were what you call it, walking across this bridge, like and you see this damn near 7-foot Viking like Blanca whip size dude, right? Walk through like on the bridge, and he sees me, and then he goes, "Hey, where are you from?" And I was like, "What?" Like, so I was like, "Damn, my hand fucked up. This dude already big." And I was like, "I hope y'all sitting ride with me right now," because I was like, "Yeah," I was like, I'm not in Europe and gonna get my ass beat by some Viking nigga." So like, yeah, I was like, "What? Brooklyn?" He goes, "Oh, I have to tell you, white rap is the best." I said, "What?" He goes, "Eminem is the best rapper ever." And I was like, so then, and I was like, "Yo, you bugging right now." And I was like, so I was like, it was a time M was in my top 5. Like when we were talking about like when you felt you needed him, like when he was able to like be the outlet for your aggression. But like that shit fucked me up. So then right now it just became like, hell no. Like so they start arguing with this dude on the bridge, and then he said something crazy, and I know I said some shady ass remark, and like he didn't catch it. Like, it was like, and it was great because like it was like I was like yeah, I was like, "Yo, you," and like after a while, like when it just became like a debate, I was like, "Yo, chill, brother, you bugging." He said, "Brother, I have a black brother." And I was like, I was like, "Yeah, the things your mother was doing."
So the Eminem love is real.
Yo, but as that, and it just made me think of that moment, like, yo, his son is,
Wow.
like, man, and a lot of these like legacy legendary acts, they don't really stay in the U.S. because like over there, like it's a real purist appreciation. Even though you got like, and they'll in their purists even a track, you know, stuff like that. But like they appreciate it. Like I was at a block party and I met Cunnilinguist, like super legendary underground group, and they just touring over there, like a lot of cats like Cannabis. Like when people thought he was having like a hard time when he did the Tom Cruise mom shoes like period in his life, he was still banking, making bread and stuff over there. Like, and that's where like, yo, a lot of legendary acts don't make bread because of their criminal records, and it's hard. But like, you can situate and get your passport, and I encourage everybody, yo, get your passport, go out, see the world, get a better understanding of the world, the various different cultures, and you just realize like and your brain will expand, your heart and your brain will expand so much more. That's what when I was blessed and fortunate enough to go out there off music, like when I came back, awesome. I had a whole different perspective. Like,
that's amazing, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
How does one manage all that? Because sometimes I feel like life could get crazy, and it's like, oh well, I got my job and I'm doing the album. Like, how do you prioritize your dreams to do something? You know, some people would say that's extra to like go that far, extra money, and going, you know, an extra mile or many miles, thousands of miles to do that. Like, did you plan ahead? Was it in the moment? Like, how did you even connect those dots?
I'm trying to remember. I know I was working during the first time I went to Europe. All right. So I was working at a temp agency. So like I had stacked up a little bit of bread, and pardon me. This was like December 2015 and stuff. Like around in like October 2015, I got the word like, yo, you going to France? Like da. Because shout out to DJ Polska, shout out to the homie Nino from the It Boys. So it was this project called Block Bangers, where the It Boys label from France, which Nino is from, and DJ Posco is a legendary DJ from France. Like he was on a hiatus and he was coming back and he wanted to do something different inside of from like just working with like the French acts that he normally has access to. So he was like, I want to do something like New York underground MCs and stuff.
Nice.
So the project features like me, Napoleon the Legend, Aaron Cohen, Sav Kills, King Marvy X, so a few other people I think I'm forgetting. It's like 10 records on it. So
Okay.
they were gonna do this portion where they'll take like 4 out this time and then 4 out like the next time to do it. So the first like big 4 records from the project were the ones that they were gonna like focus on and we were gonna perform at the festival. So my record was probably like one of the biggest ones.
Nice.
I think it probably has like the most views. Passion of the Greatest featuring my homegirl Cola Ray, who's a phenomenal talent that you guys should listen to. Yeah, so just I remember when they told me that, they was like, yo, you going to France? I didn't have my passport at the time. And I was like, yo, like the timetables, it was like, it takes 3 months to get your passport. And I was like, fuck. I was like, because they were like, you're going in January. Like, and I was like, damn, I was like, I'm gonna miss it. I was like, nah, it's all good. Come for the second half. Something in my spirit was like, nigga, ain't gonna be no second half, right? So, and little to I know, there wasn't, like, just due to other situations that I'm not privy to, but like, I went to France, nigga, I don't care. What happened is, like, my boy Brian Duryea, shout out to him, he told me, he was like, yo, you can get an expedited passport. You just got to show you leaving within the next 14 days. So, like, I just hustled that. And I was lying to them. I was like, yeah, I got the passport. Get the ticket. Get me situated. So, like, they thought I had the passport. But I was like, yo, what's the worst that's going to happen? Like, I'm like, my bad. So, which I don't encourage nobody to do. Like, but, you know, I was like, I'm a kid from Brooklyn. Like, I want to explore and experience things, and like, it was like, yo, your music was gonna allow you to do this. So I got that situated, and I wasn't working at the temp. I had bread stacked up. So then
There you go.
yeah, so then I was able to go out there, and then we got a homie out there in London called the Fly Hooligan. Shout out to him, amazing MC, and shout out to just all the dope stuff that he's got going on. So then me and DJ Ronan and Sav Kells, Sav was already out there before us, like he was out there a week before us. But so me and Ronan, we went there, then we went to London after. And the reason I say go for it is, like, I don't believe in chasing your dreams. I believe in living your dreams. Chasing something is something that it is trying to run away and get away from you. So, like, you know, when you live in it, like, you living in a moment. Just because you don't have like the millions and the thousands or these investments yet, like, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't live your dreams. And then even say, like, you get to this point where, like, yo, I heard the Illuminati rape people. Like, so I don't want to extend, like, go the further distance, but I still want to do music. Like, that's obviously an extreme scenario. But, like, say, like, music is just a passion and a hobby that feeds your spirit, because you need that. Like, I know I could never quit music. Like, God forbid, like, this is the pinnacle that I reached at my career. I know I was blessed enough to do so much already in my life that I'm thankful. And I could never say I'll quit. Like, I'll still write some rhymes. Like, I'll still freestyle. I'll still pop up. I'll still do local shows and stuff like that. Like, and just because it feeds my spirit. And then,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So that's why if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen. Excluding things like rape, don't do that. But and murder. But yeah, when it comes to your dreams and your stuff like that, yo, just if it feeds your spirit, why not feed your spirit? It's so much other things that you can waste your money on. You can subscribe to all the premium Snapchats or all your Brazzers and Bang Bros, or have a gambling addiction, and just like all of these things that take away from you being more culturally sound, more culturally aware, more versatile, and with a more broad and expanded horizon by going to different places and seeing different things and meeting different people and engaging and just having just those opportunities, like, or making those opportunities, because that's something that I learned early on, because I started taking music really serious as a career path in 2013, and I got annoyed seeing showcases by promoters who necessarily didn't care about the art, who didn't care about the artist. So I'm like, I'm an artist, so decided to just start throwing events. And when I realized like it is a headache, but it's not hard, and I understood my flaws and how I could work on it. And then now I've been able to constantly throw events here and there for other artists, and I just want to provide a platform. And that's how I give back, give you a place to perform and get content to build your EPK and stuff like that. Like that's how I feed.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, just do it, guys. No Nike endorsement, so just bleep that out.
I think that attitude is definitely a pure way of looking at it, because I think when we get into any thing where we have a goal, it's easy to just be like, well, what about me? What about my time? When's this gonna happen to me? But I love this quote. It's by Zig Ziglar. He said, "You'll get what you want if you help enough people get what they want."
That's
and
real.
it's like, you know what I mean? We could climb to the top together. You know, you could win and I could win. We could both win, and she could win and he could win. So it's not this or this. It could be you and I, me and you, and
us. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think having that us attitude is why you're It's why you're thriving, bro. You're skilled. You know your passion's there, but I think having that giving attitude and that willingness to take people with you, like you took your photographer to Paris, like that.
Yeah.
That's if you're out there, I know we're waiting for our time, but like, don't forget to give along the way and help this one with that one, or collab with this one. It's like, it's giving is key, and it's not even just like giving $200 to a GoFundMe.
Yeah, no, it's different ways.
You could give in so many ways,
yes,
without even needing to take money out of your pocket.
Like, this is something I'll tell artists, right? Or creatives in general. Say like you're an entertainer that goes out and you have shows, whether you're a comedian, painter, rapper, singer, poet, or dancer, whatever. I know it gets strenuous, where it gets annoying too, like where you gotta constantly hit up people to come to your events and come through to support you, because a lot of people, especially in this day and age, they don't just go off like if you're not already like a big marquee name, sadly, they don't just go off you posting and being like, yo, I'm here, come through, and then they'll just come through. Like, some people just want to be special, feel that unique special engagement, which is not really wrong, right? So you got to hit them up. And I know it gets strenuous because you got a lot of things going in your life, but certain people will cut people off if they don't come to their shows. Now, I take it in consideration. I know a lot of people have lives, right? And as I have my own life, so they won't be able to make like a lot of things. Even like people who used to come to my shows, they don't get to make them out as frequently because now they have kids, they have like other things. Like, it's not when we were like 19, 21 and stuff like that. But people will still share your music, they'll share your content, like, or they'll buy something like on your Bandcamp. Like, I see, like, iTunes took down their store, I believe. So like, they'll buy on Bandcamp. Like, it's various ways for people to support, but we get caught up sometimes in thinking like, if you can't do this for me, then fuck you. When it's not the case, like, find other ways to like to just get, because people want to support. Sometimes they're just not in the capacity to. So find other ways to have them be able to support you. And support them as well. Like, don't just give and it's give and take. I give, you take a little bit. Give, right? But just I encourage that type of mentality to be in people. Don't get down when you don't get a yes from this person. Like, I'll invite like 300 people and 150 will come through. So like, I know if I went 300 people, now I gotta invite 600 people. I don't know 600 people. Well, gotta support a couple motherfuckers and meet like 600 more people and stuff like that. Yeah. Which is why I'm fortunate and blessed enough to be able to have shows that I tend to pack out, and why promoters want to work with me. But like because I put in the work, and I'll still put in the work as long as there's work to be put in for myself and for the culture. And yeah, like I believe in collaborating. Like
So
we
key.
like what's the like let's make a 50-50 split, like because or why have 100 of nothing when we can have 50-50 of something, you know? Like I understand we all want to build on every man, every woman should have their own thing of this, but to have your own thing you still need people to work. Like the Apple, they Macintosh, Bill Gates, Windows and stuff, even though it's their entities, they still need people to work in them offices. Like, you know, so you still gotta collaborate, make something happen.
And I think that's a great ecosystem to think of, because Apple, the richest company in the world, if not Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon.
One of those. Yeah,
Amazon is the winners. They take EBT, everybody.
But how many people do they employ? Like, think of actually how many employees, like if you Google how many employees there are at Apple, it's not just the CEO just eating all the money, right? Like and he's not designing the computer.
Yeah.
There's like hundreds of designers. There's thousands of retail people around the world that all are able to feed their families. So think about like the fact that they're, you know, Apple is a very blue moon in the world. It's not everyone could just do what Apple did.
Yeah.
But even, you know, to think of how many people they actually employ, and it's a reflection of their success too.
Yeah.
Like they're able to pick people that deliver. How many people are probably employed by them? 50,000 people.
And you mentioned Amazon, right? Amazon has people who deliver their products too. Like, it's cats who I'll see in regular clothes, and they'll be like, yo, Amazon. Like, they don't got no UPS, United States Postal Service etiquette. It's just like, yo, I'm Amazon off the block, like, and I got your stuff. Like, that's it, bro. Like, but it just goes to show, like, there's so many ways that you can corner the market, and you can also expand your market by working with people and working with each other, like, and stuff like that. And I'm not saying, like, I know, like, there's certain discussions about how Amazon probably, like, treats their employees, like, badly. I'm just talking about on the grand scheme of the concept and the idea. Like, you don't need to get in the nitty gritty and stuff like that, because if you DM me dumb shit, I will not respond.
Of course, yeah. And it's, conditions and, you know, factories overseas are definitely...
Oh, that sucks monkey nuts.
That's really some crazy stuff, but... You know, not to argue with that, but we as humans have the ability to make choices.
Facts.
If for some reason that the company isn't making sense for you, I highly recommend going where, you know, it's not about, oh, I'm going to be happy every second of the day, because that's what life is all about. Like, there's a lot of stuff I have to do for my business that doesn't thrill me, but it makes me happy that I could do it in the peace of my own home in pajamas, and, you know, get a check sent to me by one of my clients. So if it gets to the point where it makes me so unhappy, I'm going to make the change. I'm going to make a change and be like, you know what? It's not worth the pain that I'm dealing with. Sometimes the pain is worth it and the hustle is worth it. Sometimes it's not. So anyone going through that, it's not over when the pain starts hitting. It could just be beginning for you.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree.
So, you know, the big companies, of course, maybe there could be an argument like, oh, that, but it's like, sometimes people want to deal with a certain amount of pain because it's worth it to them to have 80 hours of work a week. Yeah,
I feel it. Like,
so, but I cheers to anyone that, you know, chooses a path that works for them, and or the people, you know, and the people that, I know there's people that can't be picky, and they're like, oh, I need to work those 60 hours. I have these 3 kids. I'm going to do what I do, and just as much respect to all them too.
Exactly. When it comes to, like, yo, you know, what's the means and stuff like that. And when you're dealing with family, like, I rock with everybody doing that. But, yeah.
That's real, man. Do you have any kids or anything?
None that I know of.
Fair enough. So I know you got I know you got a new EP out.
Coming.
It's coming soon.
Yes.
What's the name of that?
So this is gonna be the first time I actually say it. It's actually called Isaiah CBC. So Isaiah, children of a broken cycle, and it's a story that entails about a young kid who's going through a traumatic experience and is going through those trials and tribulations to see what it means to be a man and to learn how to become a man, or if he does become a man, find out what happens at the end when I drop it.
Nice.
No, we're looking for a 2020 first quarter release date. So like the release date is still pending, but first quarter.
And be sure to find that when it drops.
Yes, sir.
And maybe we're not going to hear anything from there, but I think maybe it's only right we give these people maybe some on the spot type stuff. So
yeah, I bless you with some stuff from some other places. Stream me.
And where could people find you on socials and all that?
So everything is Frank Knizza. That's FrankKnizza. So that's FrankKnizza.com, at Frank Knizza on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. I even got back into my MySpace and changed it to Frank Knizza. I probably won't follow you back because I don't really go in there. Pornhub, Christian Mingle, Black People Meet, Farmers Meet. Just out here. We out here in these Skriznaites. Follow me, and I'll follow you back. And yeah, I do that. But I also, fuck it, don't follow me. Lead with me, but hit follow.
And maybe before we get into these tracks, if you could recall, what is the best advice that someone ever gave you, or that you may just have?
It's a lot of great advice that I've been blessed with. One of the things I would shout out this talented artist that I know by the name of Verse, where I think this is one of the things that just came to my mind that keeps me humble. Nobody owes you anything. Like, even if somebody really says I owe you, they really don't owe you nothing. Like, unless you come to a terms and agreement, like, yo, pay me back a cent, then they owe you. But like, don't come in with the expectations of being owed, especially like if you do something off, like if you have the intent of getting something back from it, don't expect to get anything back from it. Hope to get something back from it, but don't expect to. So nobody owes you anything.
I love it.
Thanks.
So let's get into this first one.
All right.
And we're on TYPE88 right now. We got
Yes,
the
sir.
one and only Frank Knight, a.k.a. Frank Knizza, about to bring it to you.
You know it. If I mess up, it's your fault. Yeah. Off the water, Musa. Shout out to Mike Larry Draw. Yo. You should just back down. We was living in the background. You can hear the sad sounds with a crack frown, where they blick back bounce, meaning click clack pounds. Depending on your color culture, you might feel the wetness of a shot like a coast. I ain't really trying to be a boss of living in a roller coaster where they rollin' toast. Careful, spread a poison to your boys and who you hold closer. Cause the right could and the snakes can't make itself envenomated where its own venom kill a cobra. Know your hand play royal with a couple aces, cause if they pull your card, you'll be looking like a joker. I done gave game to a nigga like that, who shouldn't have came for a nigga like that. Now my nigga banged on a nigga like that, so with a whole nigga brain need an ice pack. It's like, oh shit, nigga, I told you not to fuck around. Now no shit, nigga, you know not to fuck around. Now who gon' you gon' with no Yukon? But this happen when you get caught after Yukon. When you knew wrong, do wrong, you left too gone. Cold body mommy wishing it was lukewarm, but you ain't coming back like a dad with the cigarettes. You can't come back, you get dragged through. Your nigga say she cites life, make drama. Interject when you get hit by a pro. Interject sleeping on the floor with a living so raw, with a bullet through the George F. And move on up, lose more than half your top like George F. Cause when niggas do the most, they do enough. Rock it, fuck it, rock it, fuck it, rock it, fuck it, rock it, fuck it. All these niggas wildin' cause these bitches want thugs. All these bitches tweaking cause these niggas got drugs. And they on them, and they on them, and they on them, and they on them. I said, all these niggas wildin' cause these bitches want thugs. And all these bitches tweaking cause these niggas got drugs. And they on them, and they on them, and they on them, and they on them. Yes!
Yeah, that was sick, man.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
I feel like you got some more in you.
Oh man, let's get it, bro.
Let's do it.
Let's get it. Yeah. Go check out the new single Comment Man Gang for my DBZ, DBS, DB fans, anime all day with the work, get the cake. What I say? Comment man, gang. Comment man, gang. Comment. Let me click that dude real quick. That's right. Yeah. Hood nigga raised off the anime where they going with the work shorty like it's anime. And they battering it hard cause they playing a cake. Dealing with the new Mexicans, no Santa Fe. That ain't your money fiend, keep your hand away. They clap for the green like a gamma wave. Even though money's just a concept and a way we often look to it, give it glory and the faith. To form this reality we live in, but it ain't really as safe as they tend to say. We the lemons who be drowning in the lemonade, forgetting that this life we can evade. You ain't gotta stay in the section getting aid when we got the food for thought to generate dinner made. That's the real mind power that we got to innovate. We can take the ideas and mad and manipulate. Allow me to demonstrate in a different way. Show you where the metaphysical to elevate. The spirit in the heart is where it stimulate. We been God body time 120 and got hella late. If shorty pulling on my arm, I tell her wait. Cause there's certain things I gotta say that cannot wait. Trying to save y'all from selling weight. Cause the seller weight, the suck your fake, they want us on lean like a rock away. For years we been trained to take the L like a rock away. Where the chop away, swing it top like a propeller. They don't understand the drama, they watching like a novella. But that's what they put us on inside of America. Fuck Coben, baby, we gon' make it better. This the best endeavor, I can script in every letter. We can lift each other up, we could be our own level. So we always get ahead and never get severed forever. Come in, man, gang. Come in, man, gang. Come in, man. Oh man, I put this on combi, my nigga. Yeah. Woo! Bipolar run through the fam, I can't stand it. And it's feeling like it's more depressive than manic. Mama used to panic at the situation headed. And some days I had mama seeming so frantic. So I gave her more greens than a planetamic. Now she chilling off the trees, kinda like a hammock. For now, what's the best solution? That's granted. Gambling with life in the city, the wave of the Atlantic. Got my fingers to my hair like a special. I'm just visualizing, executing what I'm planning. Ain't here to play NFL when I'm manning. Bring me to the light, I show my darkness like I'm tanning. Back on mother, fuck me over with the money, with the scamming. He was running from the cops in New Jerusalem. Crushed whip in the right family of Granby. I was fucking with Amanda Hart while she was screaming. She was getting live on Live Jasmine. Her parents' house wasn't hell, she needed cash in. Thought if she did this, she could find a passion. Found a little spot in Harlem, she would later crash it. Now we cool again from an ending that was tragic, but we don't get up no more. Relationship flaccid. I done learned a lot, I used to trip without acid. Now I'm about to pass and take knowledge and pass it. We done faced more than one deficit. What a puzzle piece of revenge when it was for death to fit. Chalked it up to the game on some life lesson shit. Sometimes you gotta go ahead and get jerked a bit, so you later come correct with shit. Surviving with first-hand experience is a blessing shit. Don't think less of it, give life your all, and if you find any left in it, hit it with the rest of it. Come in, man, gang. Come in, man, gang. Come in, man, gang. Come in, man. Word.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to the one and only Frank Knizza coming through and killing it.
Thank you, Dave.
You're always welcome, bro. I look forward to the new project. Any shout outs you want to make before we dip out of here?
Before we bounce like round ball, right? I don't want to have to kill soundboard. I want to shout out everybody who tuned in and listened. I want to shout out DJ J Ronan, Sav Kales. Shout out to Smooth. Shout out to the whole fam. Shout out to TYPE88. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to the Maker. What is it? Maker Space.
Maker Park Radio.
Maker Park Radio for allowing us to have this platform and this time to where I could bust a rhyme. Woo-ha! But shout out to V Henny because I seen she had commented on the picture that you posted. Shout out to V Henny. Yeah. Shout out to Yasin. Shout out to Scott Morris. Shout out to Quote. Shout out to Zaya. Shout out to Asia Golden. Shout out to Aggie. Shout out to B Morgan. You know, we about to get the wrap it up box, but yeah, just 1, 2. We don't stop. That's hip hop. Remember the name. Remember the wave. You know it. Yes, sir. BK all day. Woo.
Yo, you're now